What's up, Dayton? Bring you greetings from Columbus, Ohio. I'm thankful that you guys give me the opportunity, Mark, to come and just share a few words with you today. Let's just give a round of applause for all of the speakers who've already spoken. Just want to share just a few words with you. The greatest civil rights leader, an advocate for justice, the late great Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "The only weapon we have in our hands is the weapon of protest." Yes. And certainly this is the glory of our democracy. If we were incarcerated behind the iron curtains of a communistic nation, we couldn't do this. If we were dropped in the dungeons of a totalitarian regime, we couldn't do this. But the great glory of American democracy is the right to protest for right. And there comes a time when people get tired of being trampled over by the iron feet of oppression. There comes a time when people get tired of being plunged across the abyss of humiliation where they experience the bleakness of nagging despair. There comes a time when people get tired of being pushed out of the glittering sunlight of life's July and left standing amid the piercing chill of an alpine November. There comes a time, and we are at that time. And that's why I'm so glad to be able to be here with you for this, our Lives on the Line National Day of Action, where more than 160 events are taking place in 43 states and in Washington, D.C., all because there comes a time, and now is the time. And as we are gathered here today, this is a time of celebration because the Senate's Better Care Reconciliation Act has been voted down. The Senate's repeal-only bill has been voted down. And just recently, as in the early morning hours yesterday, the Senate's skinny bill repeal bill has been voted down. And a large thank you, a large shout out goes to the great citizens of this country and the awesome citizens of this great state of Ohio, and right here in this great city of Dayton, where there are so many courageous citizens who continue to stand up and rally and mobilize and march, who have been consistently calling your congressmen and women senators and calling people in your communities and neighborhoods and have encouraged them to join this fight for justice. But brothers and sisters, even as we take this victory lap today, yet we cannot allow ourselves to fall back into a state of complacency, which in part is why we are in the predicament we are in now, where we have a president who is more interested in tweeting than in leading. We have a president who lacks preparation, presentation, and pontification, who wishes that some of us were back on the plantation, and as a result, our country is in a state of putrefaction. And as a result, the fight is far from over, because as long as we have this president, and as long as the Republicans control the House and Senate, they will continue trying to strip away our health care. Because we cannot forget that many of them voted to strip away health care from tens of millions of Americans, gut Medicaid, and force our premiums to rise, all so that they could give tax cuts to millionaires and billionaires. There were 217 Republicans in the House and 49 Republicans in the Senate, including our very own Senator Rob Portman, who voted in favor of the BCRA and the skinny repeal bill, for which Senator Portman and the others must be held accountable for their decision to choose their party over the people. But brothers and sisters, not only this, but we must also keep fighting. Because as great as the Affordable Care Act has been, and I believe President Obama, let's give a big shout out to President Obama. And I believe that President Obama took us as far as he could. Yet now we must continue to fight to go further, because what we really need is universal health care. Because health care is not a privilege just for the rich and wealthy or the elite in society, but health care is a right that each and every one of us is born with. Whether you're in the White House or the prison house, you deserve health care. Whether you're black or white, Hispanic or Asian or Indian, you deserve health care. Whether you're rich or poor, you deserve health care. Whether you are young or old, you deserve health care. Whether you're healthy, whether you're sick or have a pre-existing condition, you deserve health care. Whether you are heterosexual, homosexual, or even transgender, you deserve health care. Whether you're in the military or a civilian, you deserve health care. Whether you're a Christian or a Jew or a Muslim or even something else, or maybe even an atheist, yet you deserve health care. And as a Christian minister of the gospel today, I stand and speak with conviction in my heart and with authority that universal health care is a birthright that each and every one of us is born with, because it falls in line with the great principles of the Christian faith that I hold so dearly, where it says that above all else, God wishes that we would prosper and be in good health, even as our soul prospers. Jesus Christ himself even said that I have come that they might have life and have it more abundantly. Universal health care is what we need, and universal health care is what we want. Can you help me out? What do we need? Healthcare. What do we want? Healthcare. What do we need? Healthcare. What do we want? Healthcare. We want universal health care. So let's keep fighting today. Keep protesting. The great glory of the American democracy is the right to protest for right. So when you leave this place and go back to your homes, don't sit down. But let me leave you with the lyrics from the late great Bob Marley. Get up, stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up, don't give up the fight. Come on, somebody help me, you know it. Get up, stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up, don't give up the fight. One last time, get up, stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up, don't give up the fight.
Pastor Ridley, Jason Ridley from Columbus.